Hadi çabuk olun. Travma odası 2. Karnından kurşun yarası. Muhtemelen dalak parçalanmış. Bana 4 ünite 0 negatif bulun. Kanama var. Şiddetli abdominal travma. Hemen hortumu takın. Tansiyon 50. Hızla düşüyor. Nabız atmıyor. Hemen elektroşok cihazını verin. Hadi. Herkes açılsın. Çekilin.
Hello, and welcome
To the weakest link.
to 60 Second Retro Gamer. I get to say hello and start one for the first time in about a year.
For a very long time.
Yes, I am Copernicus.
Review more games.
I am Copernicus Hatton, and joining me,
Richard Copernicus has it.
is this one over here called Anthony. He doesn't have a funky nickname like me because I'm awesome. And Simon Pryor, who's busy clipboarding himself
Yes.
and penning himself. So yes, we're here to talk about the monstrosity that is the
Driver 3.
Driver 3
Yeah.
game.
Please do talk about the story and the gameplay.
Well, the story, as far as
So I've never
aware-
actually played it. I've seen.
I've only played a little bit of it because it's so horrendous. As far as I'm aware, the story picks up after the events of Driver 2. You again take on the role of Tanner, the
Tanner!
driver of the series and of the game, and you go on a hunt for this bloke who's stealing cars or some such nonsense. And what they've done is basically try to beat Grand Theft Auto in a game called Driver. Oh, there he goes. Look, that's probably what the developers should have done. Held himself out of a car. Look at his crab scuttle.
His little gay leap.
I tell you, the on-foot sections of this game are absolutely horrific. Why they felt the need to try and copy Grand Theft
GTA.
Auto is,
It's called Driver.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
the clue's in
For
the
a
name. there.
reason.
you know, the first Driver game on the PlayStation was ace because it was set in the 70s and you did nothing
But
but
Drive.
drive. Whereas in this game, Driver 2 was the first one that sort of got you out of the car.
The physics collision detection on it as well.
Yeah, it
Oh.
is awful. Got you out of the car in number 2, and you were allowed to scuttle around on foot. But from what I remember of playing that was pretty ropey as well.
I don't know, Driver 2 was quite good. From what I
Well,
remember
the
of
on-foot stuff was awful from what I remember.
Yeah.
Um,
Same as this. This was at one time it's the most returned game.
Yeah, I mean, I made the mistake of buying it on launch day, going, "Oh, Driver 3, that's going to be wicked."
And then
It's got
soon
some
realising-
big Hollywood actors in it. Michael Madsen, but I think he'd do anything these days for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And I think Michelle Rodriguez might be in it. Some other famous
Let's
Hollywood
see.
actors.
Ving Rhames,
Ving Rhames, that's
Iggy
another one.
Pop, Mickey Rourke, Michelle Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Michael Madsen, and I don't recognise anyone else.
So yeah, you know, it's got I'd say A-list, but they're sort of mid to low or mid to high B-list actors.
Yeah.
You know, people you can depend on to do a solid job, but nothing spectacular.
No.
And yeah,
Well, judging by the fact that 2 of the people on that list were in Blood Rain. Says a lot,
Yeah,
really, doesn't it?
it does.
Despite generally negative critical reception, the game did receive some positive feedback, as 2 magazines published by Future, PlayStation magazine, PlayStation 2 magazine, and Xbox World gave it 9 out of 10.
I don't think they did.
Having played the game and
The
seen the
official
overall,
PlayStation 2 magazine.
it's not official.
Oh right.
PSM 2
Oh,
magazine and Xbox
sorry.
World. Having played the game and seen the overall media response, readers of both magazines began to question the integrity of the scores, and a long discussion on Future Publishing's Games Radar forum saw the mini scandal dubbed Drivergate.
Yeah.
Still being discussed as late as 2008.
Blimey. You see, this is the problem.
Official PS2 magazine gave it 6.
Yeah, I thought they gave it a low score. The problem I've got here is I'm trying to watching the footage. I'd managed to find a glitch in the game, which was pretty good. but I'm trying to redo it, but I'm hitting a curb. Okay, the car's bouncing all over the place because it's so poorly designed.
It's like it's been prodded with a stick as it's on its roof as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't this the point where you go, oh, I'm in the wrong place?
No, I was in the right place for it. It's just going over that curb made the car jump in the air and sort of do several barrel rolls.
Boing, yeah.
Do
a barrel roll.
If only it were that easy, they wouldn't have needed half the equipment they had on Casino Royale. They could just clip the curve and fucking there you go.
But I mean, as a whole, the entire game is a mess from start to finish. You know,
It's just
if you're going to
diabolical.
put the name driver in the game, I think the first thing you should really focus on is making sure that the driving is good.
Yeah.
And it's not bad for what it is,
But it's nowhere near brilliant.
No, and I think they've put motorbikes in for the first time. And
No, motorbikes apparently are in Driver 2.
oh, okay, fair enough.
Are they?
Yeah, Driver 3 brings back features from Driver 2 and adds the ability to ride motorcycles and boats, use weapons, swim, climb ladders and enter certain buildings, among other things, as well as controlling more than one character.
Yeah, I think they tried to be GTA and...
When they should have just focused on the driving.
Yeah, they should have just stuck to what they know. I really can't say anything too good about the game. The shooting mechanics are pretty shonky. The swimming is a joke because I find it almost impossible to get out of the water.
Well, wasn't it around this time that that GTA just didn't do swimming?
Yeah, there's a whole piss take thing in it. There's a bit in the airport you can find. I can't remember what they're called exactly. It's something like what was the bloke in Vice City? Was it Tommy Vercetti or something?
I think so. Yeah.
They've got these 10 characters on every map in Driver 3, called Tommy Vermicelli or something stupid.
Yeah, it's Tommy Vercetti or Vercetti.
Yeah, and these characters that you find and are heavily armed have armbands on, or water wings to any of those who are in America.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, and he's got a ghastly Hawaiian shirt on or whatever, and you can find these people and kill them. And I think it was Reflection's way of sort of poking fun at the fact that their
game's worse.
But Tanner could actually swim.
Badly.
Okay, yeah, not very well, but he could go in the water without dying. But that doesn't excuse the fact that you should be getting out of the car in the first place to go in the water, because it's a driver game. So you should be.
And they're still plodding on with that whole concept, though, aren't they?
Well, I think the new stuff, the new driver game is pretty much all based in a car.
Yeah.
Okay, the concept's outrageously ludicrous, but at least they're focusing on bringing it back to being a driving game as opposed to a poor man's GTA, which is what it is, and it's all the worse for it, and it's such a shame because it could have been really good.
But there we
Yeah. Soundtrack, score, music.
I'm not sure on the soundtrack.
It sounded pretty shoddy to me.
Yeah, I think it's got some sort of. You've opened it in the wrong.
In the wrong program again. I'm not going to try.
No. I can't remember all that much about it, to be honest. I think if you've got Iggy Pop in and you've.
Well, he's in insurance adverts now. I mean,
Well, yeah.
I just know that a lot of people bought this. They weren't impressed.
Well,
they took it back.
The thing, they released it without putting it out for people to review.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about it as well is people could trade it in, and that was back in the day when you got money for your trades.
Yeah.
Where you could trade a game in and it would be like a few quid less than what you paid for it, sort of thing.
Yeah. I really can't say too much about the soundtrack or whatever because, to be honest, I only played it to a certain point and then just
got annoyed and gave up.
Completely enough of the entire thing.
But I mean,
there was a nice touch with this actually, where you could hold two of the shoulder buttons down. I think R2 and L2 or something like that. and it did like this funky slow down motion thing with I think it was called Thrill Cam.
Isn't there a feature like that on GTA as well?
Yeah, it's only if you do the jumps though, or whatever, the
Yeah.
unique, insane jumps. But it
No,
really,
there's an option now where you put it in like film cam or something.
Oh right, okay.
Certainly on GTA 4, I don't know about earlier ones, but
Yeah,
it sort of makes it look as though you're in a film.
yeah. It may well have done.
But the physics are wrong on it. The
everything-
on foot sections are hideous.
Everything that could be wrong with this game is
Is.
pretty much wrong with it.
I mean, I bought this for £2, and I think that's paying too much.
Yeah. I mean, there's one bit if you go do the take a ride mode, and if you put all the cheat on to unlock all the weapons, there is some fun to be had in Miami with the bridge. There we go.
You
There's
broke
the
it.
I found the glitch. I found this completely by mistake, and it was awesome. With the drawbridge, not the drawbridge, the bridge. Is it a drawbridge that goes up in the middle?
Yeah, that's a drawbridge.
Yeah. And you could put people's cars on the top of it, and when they're driving across, you push the button, then it lifts it up, and
Yeah.
they crash, and then you fire your
You
grenade.
died.
Fire your grenade launcher into the wreckage of cars and blow them up, and that was about it.
Yeah, it's of all the games. I mean, I think the driver games as well are in the first one's pretty good. After you've got through the ludicrously difficult opening training thing in the garage parking lot,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because you've got a time limit which doesn't help, and
No.
then you've got all
The-
these different things that
yeah.
you need to do in order to get into the main game itself, and that sort of level of awkwardness panned out into this game as well.
Mm.
And I don't think they ever really got away from it. Maybe more so on the recent ones, because I've not played the more recent ones.
I played the demo for
But San Francisco apparently is better.
San Francisco, but I didn't like the whole concept of switching mines and
yeah,
taking
yeah.
over another car, because that was a bit.
It's very sci-fi.
Yeah, I know it's set in a coma or whatever, but it.
So it's a bit
I
silly.
don't know.
It's set in a coma.
Yeah,
He's in a coma and you jump into people's bodies.
yeah, he's imagining the whole thing in his mind.
Oh. It still didn't look or play very well from what I saw of the demo, but there you go.
It got some good reviews, but this driver is really one that-
Broken.
yeah, it really should have been wheeled out into retirement. I was trying to think of a good.
Thrown down
driver-based
the well
pub.
at birth
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
plastic bag.
It should have been eliminated.
It
Yes.
shouldn't have been released.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well, you can't win them all, can you?
There's no multiplayer because it is very much a single-player game. There's no downloadable stuff because it was PS2.
Yeah. But it's limited network capability. I played a game of Pro Evo 5 online on
Wow.
the PS2. Just the one. I
Did you
think
get battered?
I lost 1-0.
Oh, that's not too
I
bad.
did alright.
Yeah.
Because every time they ran past me, or I went to run past them, it was like, brushed. Yep, free kick.
Yeah.
But there we are.
That's for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't actually recommend this game to
At all.
anybody.
No.
Unless you're a sadomasochist, in which case,
I'm going to
Feel
play
free.
it. But I play the Beverly Hills Cop game.
yeah.
And, if I will finish that game eventually, and it will be on my list of conquered video games.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly.
No.
And I will play this one eventually.
Yeah.
I do remember when I was doing music recording, watching you play that, and it was the amount of I think I was trying to record this one cello bit, and I couldn't do it because I kept watching this fucking game. Going, oh, this is appalling.
So yeah,
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the actual podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna play Driver, play Grand Theft Auto instead.
Yeah.
That's as far as I could probably go with it.
And 3 games to
well,
recommend.
obviously,
I'd
Grand
say
Theft Auto.
GTA
GTA
3 or
Vice City. Vice City, I think, because
Yeah.
this is set sort of in a similar time
Yeah,
period.
okay, so Vice City.
I say time period. It was out at the sort of same
Yeah, yeah.
time.
So
Well,
Vice
mind you,
City.
time period, they're not wise, they're not far off, because that was in the 80s and this is in the 70s. Isn't it?
No, I think this is brought into modern day. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cars not very 70s,
But okay, so Vice City
Yeah,
on PS2.
Stuntman.
Stuntman,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, it
but
would
that was
be.
a terrible game.
Yeah, Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter, so actually surprisingly good.
Yeah.
It's all driving based as well, but It's one of the few games I finished on the PS2. It's the very first game I owned on the PS2 as well.
Right.
Spy Hunter and Alex Ferguson's Player Manager 2001 in a bundle on the chunky PS2.
Lovely.
So happy days.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the three.
Yeah.
I
I'd actually play them rather than get this. I wouldn't say I enjoy this and I'm going to get those through. I'm going to get those through and play them first.
Yeah.
But we may do reviews of those eventually.
Yeah. I thought so.
I don't think we've done a GTA yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
No, but there's loads to get through. So
Yeah.
yeah. Please don't play this game.
Yeah.
And if you have already, I pity you because I was in the same boat.
Yeah.
Or
A
car,
lot of
depending.
people. Yeah. Or Crab Scuttle.
Or Crab Scuttle.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Right. Okay. Thank you for listening. If you have been, if you want to get in touch,
Take over now, that's
yes,
fine.
drop us an email. I think you've waxed lyrical about this enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Drop us an email, info@randomstoke.com. Alternatively, you can visit randomstoke.com, go on the website. You've got the Facebook links, the YouTube links, the WordPress blog links, and the podcast links and everything. It's all on the website. So go there for everything. So thank you for listening, and we'll be back next time with another lovely episode. Goodbye!
Ta-ra.
This has been a Random Stoke production. Please visit www.randomstoke.com for more.